Previously on Robert Last.
However, Furiosa just kind of hits me a little bit different. I'm actually really excited to see it. Normally I would just write it off as some reboot cash grab, but I did love Mad Max Fury Road, and my favorite character was actually Furiosa. I thought she was the strongest character, so I'm actually really hyped to see what they do as this origin story out in the ruins and, you know, her trying to fight her way to survive.
I was wrong.
I'm actually really psyched for that one.
Well, that aged about as well as a cold glass of milk on a hot Mexican summer day. Furiosa was one of my most anticipated movies for 2024. And well, let's just say,
I was wrong! I was so wrong! God is real!
Don't get me wrong, this wasn't a bad movie by any means. And not every single sequel is inherently bad, as I may have led you to believe in any of my other videos. This movie really could have been something. But before I give away all my talking points within the first 90 seconds of the video, why don't I just show you what I'm talking about? So without further ado, go ahead and pack your nitrous and let's get straight into it. This movie takes place roughly before the events of Fury Road. I think. I'm not sure. If it seems like I should have done some research, oh, you poor little thing. This is coming directly from George Miller himself, who, just like Michael Bay, can't even keep up with his own movies. Furiosa kicks off with our protagonist, Midiosa. Furiosa is captured as a child and kept by Dementis, who is played by Chris Hemsworth. He's like that one guy in your Instagram who puts entrepreneur in his bio when, in reality, he's unemployed. Dementis' big plan is to do what the Italian Stallion did in Tulsa King, which is to rob you and then sell you protection so no one else can rob you. They head over to the Citadel, where we get a sweet blast from the past with returning characters like the Bullet Farmer, Rictus Erectus, the People Eater, and many others. Unfortunately though, Hugh Keays-Byrne, who played Immortan Joe, passed away in 2020. Anyway, Dementis cuts a deal with the Immortans, I guess, where he will now be the sole bouncer for Gasoline Town. How exactly Dementis is still alive after pulling off this little stunt is beyond me. I mean, we're talking about the Warlord Prime here. You're telling me that this guy doesn't kill the dude who attacked like 30% of his empire successfully and then offers him a job? Dementis manages to bamboozle Immortan Joe straight into a 401k by protecting Gastown and selling Furiosa. Immortan Joe then just goes full Drake and wants to groom this little girl so he can one day sleep with her.
Ooh, my spider sense is tingling. If you know what I'm talking about.
Furiosa, however, being the smart little cookie that she is, manages to escape the grubby little hands of Bill Clinton and the gang. Several years later, Furiosa is now part of the team of mechanics that build the war rigs, hiding in plain sight. During this time, she comes across Praetorian Jack, who is the Furiosa, I guess, of Furiosa. One day, however, everything changes when Furiosa escapes the Citadel to reunite with her family. During the escape, she's discovered by Jack, and while they're under attack, she proves to be well worth her motherfucking salt. Every single war boy is killed or flung off the war rig, and Furiosa damn near single-handedly manages to fend off the attack and save the war rig. I will be talking about this particular scene a little bit later in the video. Praetorian Jack and Furiosa return to the Citadel, where Jack takes Furiosa under his wing, promises to show her around the rigs, become a driver, and one day even reunite her with her family. From this point forward, this is your official spoiler warning, so if you don't want to know anything, go ahead and skip to the timestamp right here. On the other side of Dionanda, things are not going really well in Gastown. Dementis has ripped a page straight out of the Father's Handbook and completely neglected his responsibilities. Right on the brink of an uprising, Dementis says, fuck it, and doubles down on this horrific bet. Now the plan is to take over the entire Citadel, because clearly he knows how to run this shit. But I have been teasing you long enough, because you did not pay $15 to not see a metric ton of Australian action. Gasoline Town is lost, the bullet farm gone, the Citadel unprotected. An all-out war breaks out in the wasteland. For 90 seconds, in a montage.
Brother,
No!
The Great War that has been brewing for decades, and a whole lot of my time just flashes me, calls me a racial slur, and then fucks off. I can somewhat understand why they may have chosen to not focus on the bigger conflict, because this is, after all, Furiosa's story. And the Great War isn't necessarily her battle. But they could have given us something, man. Saw anything. I would have taken anything. I mean, Fury Road was freaking awesome. The set pieces and action sequences were so breathtaking, and this just feels mild. It's not bad, it's alright, but fuck, man, I wanted more.
I want more.
After the war, the movie just kind of lost me. Praetorian Jack gets eaten alive by dogs, Django style. Furiosa gets her revenge, which is actually very tasty and somewhat deranged. Bada bing, bada boom, the movie wraps up in a not so tasteful way by just straight up showing me clips of Fury Road. You know, the movie I'd rather be watching right now. As I said in the intro, this movie's not bad. If I'm sounding a bit negative right now, it's because I had such high expectations for it. I wanted it to do better. Because clearly this franchise has a lot of versatility. We've seen what Mad Max can do, and it's amazing. However, I did like a lot of things about this movie. Anya Taylor-Joy shines bright like a diamond. She fits into the Furiosa character so seamlessly from what we saw in Fury Road. You could take the audio by itself of this movie and put it up against Charlize Theron, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Anya is certainly one of the most talented stars of our generation. You've seen her do incredible work before, and you'll see it here. Although, the one thing that is kind of wacky is, I guess, she forgot to turn off her supermodel settings, and she just walks around like a supermodel everywhere. It's so funny. Chris Hemsworth also was pretty great. I doubt he'll be getting any nominations for this performance because it's just so damn silly. He feels like he's just improvising half this stuff and forgets he's being recorded. But, you know, this is a goofy world, so why not? Despite my complaints, I didn't hate where they took the story. At the end of the day, Furiosa and Fury Road are two completely different movies. And to kind of put it in a nutshell, Furiosa is to Fury Road what Better Call Saul was to Breaking Bad. It builds a lot upon the world, takes its time, lets the characters move around, do stuff, and when the time is right, Furiosa's vendetta is fulfilled. And that's completely fine. I just wish they would have taken it a step further. Because speaking of slow, where the hell is the music, man? This shit is so dead, you'll swear you're playing Modern Warfare 3. Not to say that there wasn't any music in the movie, there is, but, you know, just like the movie itself, it's pretty downbeat, it's pretty slow, and the complete antithesis of what we got in Fury Road. If you think I'm comparing this too much to Fury Road, sorry to disappoint you, man, but I'm gonna. Hell, the movie itself uses up a bunch of Fury Road nostalgia, so I think I'm in the clear. And for my last comparison, I don't think I can forgive George Miller for dropping the ball with the very little action that we do get in the movie. Unlike Fury Road, this was very clearly shot on a soundstage with a bunch of green screens.
Hey, that really sucked!
And that just blows. I can forgive the slow pace. I can forgive the lack of action. I can even forgive the music. But not the green screens, George! You've already done this, my guy. Just do it again. I mean, look at this. And look at this.
This is pure compulsion. You've taken something beautiful and made it ugly.
It's such a shame, man. But I gotta wrap this up. This film was really odd. I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, and I walked out of the theater feeling incomplete. If you have $15 lying around, then by all means, go watch it. But just don't expect it to be Fury Road. With that said, I think it is time for the rating. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, earns a very unusual 6.5. Make sure to check out the latest video on the channel where I had a much better time with the Fall Guy. Also, check out the All Transformers ranked video so you can really see just how mean I can be. Hit that big red button underneath so you don't miss a single update on the channel, as well as follow me on my different links on social media so you don't miss any updates, as well as get some short form content. And with that said, thank you guys so very much for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't get me wrong, this wasn't a bad movie by any means. Chingas a toda tu puta. And not every single I've done this shit again. I kinda lost myself there.